In this video, we have a look at what can be improved in Daily Race B, including that rolling start and side-by-side with a police car through the kink. Hello everyone and welcome back to a Gran Turismo video. We're looking at Daily Race B, and if you haven't guessed by the thumbnail and the title, some things need to change. First of all, at Laguna Seca, look at this, man. This is the rolling start for Daily Race B this week. We're starting before the last corner. And in fact, P12 onwards, I believe that was, starts on the corner. So we have a massive disadvantage compared to the rest of the field. It's rubbish. It really is rubbish. Now, if you do enjoy this video, as always, do give it a like and do subscribe to the channel. We're on this journey to 50,000 subscribers and we are so close now. It could be this week and then the big special will be announced. Going to turn one there. Now we tried around the outside of Goat 46 in that Renault Megane trophy with the old school Renault livery on there as well as we head towards this right-hander. But yeah, the rolling start, honestly, it's absolutely atrocious. I don't know why they continue to do it. It makes no sense at all. And we're going to investigate that a little bit further later on in this video. But let's jump into this race then. Let's see if we can spot any other problems with this daily race, because in my opinion, there's a lot that can be improved here very quickly, very easily. And I have done videos on this before in terms of daily race C and strategies, etc. But we know B as a bit of a sprint race. As we go into the kink here at Laguna Seca, continue on through there. Both nailed it pretty well there, the Goat and myself. We're going to head up towards the corkscrew now then. Goat goes defensive. We're going to look on the outside of Goat then as we go into here. We jump to chase cam just to see what's going on here. Beautiful racing there with Goat, or otherwise known as Ken, apparently. Oops, somebody's off there, the Portuguese driver. But that was brilliant racing. There's just enough space there for both of us. Oh, superb, absolutely superb. We're going to jump on board this Portuguese driver then. We just saw them off the circuit before. You can see they've gone off at the kink there as well. So they're going to have dirt on their tyres as they head up towards the corkscrew then. Come into the braking zone then, slowing the car down there, and they're just going to go off there, just understeering off. Now, I talked about this in the weekly race guide. When you go all four wheels off the circuit, there's a flag on your car to say basically reduce grip until a few corners later. Now, interestingly, if you go three wheels off the circuit, you don't have reduced grip and you're absolutely fine. So that's how I know it's a flag and not necessarily to do with anything else, essentially. We're going to go down the inside of Martin there, taking the penalty. So we're going to be up to P13. You have a great name, Martin. Honestly, it's an awesome name. So we continue on a bit further in the lap. For those that know, oh, you know. Right, okay, here we go. We've got an Italian up ahead then. Miano in the Genesis. That's what we're in, of course, if you didn't spot that earlier on in this video. Into the king then, and through we go. We've got somebody off in the distance. The Italian just did it slightly wrong there. Let's jump on board the Italian then as we head up towards the corkscrew. I'm on the inside then, and they try and outbrake me into the corkscrew. They try and aim for the apex, which, if I was still there, arguably wouldn't have been my fault anyway, but unfortunately, you've gone off the circuit. Kiki here, and we take the place. And as we continue on through there, nothing much more happened as we jump back on board myself, looking to catch up to the big fights happening in the distance there. We've got the Genesis of PLC then. In towards the left we go. Sorry, out of here very quick. Oh, goodbye, PLC. Thank you very much for giving me that place. You didn't have to do that. Obviously, a little bit too much wheel spin there as we advance further on them. We've got an SLS in the distance. You don't see that car very often. If you do want to see that car in Beat the Meta, make sure you write it in the comments. I am adding up the votes. I'm at 8 days of comments behind now. I used to be 4 weeks. So we are getting there. And that'll actually be caught up to today or tomorrow, depending on when you watch this, in Monday or Tuesday. Continue out the last corner then. And Venka up ahead has just taken a 0.5 second penalty. Very significant, the penalty here, because it's on that start-finish straight. And we go on by around the outside as we head down towards turn number 1. Looking to defend there from Venka as well. And Dutch Merc in the distance said hello in the lobby as well, so hello to you. As we continue on out of here, we will look on the inside of Fifi here in the SLS as we go through that right-hander. Now, we are going to be trying Group 4 Beat the Meta this week, for those wondering. It will be in a car that I did try it previously on, and I won, weirdly, but I felt like it was the meta car after finding it. So that's why I'm going to try it again here. It's definitely not going to be the meta car here, and we'll try it out. But, of course, as I say, you can put your votes in the comments, and then if that car is top of the votes, we'll do it next. Right, Dutch Merc there went off. Now, I could have gone for it down the inside, but I decided not to because inevitably there could have been a crash there. 0.5 second penalty. It's going to happen on the start-finish straight, so I would have actually lost more time. So I tried to use my brain a little bit there, let them go. Oh my word, somebody's just sent it right round the outside. Do they make the corner? That is the question. Through the right, Slight tap with myself there. So that's going to cost me a little bit of time here. So maybe I won't overtake Dutch Merc in the end. Look at that rear view mirror though. There's a bit of contact behind as well. And they've gone off the circuit. We'll have a look at that in a second. In fact, we'll have a look at that right now because we've extended that gap. Or the gap's been extended a little bit here. We're on board Rudy here. So this was the driver who just took the penalty previously. Tried to go around the outside there. As we go down here, there's going to be some unfortunate contact there. Just a mistake. That's not dirty driving. It's just a mistake. That's all it is. Through the left we go. Not sure they realised Digger Deeks was there on the inside because they kept turning in. And Digger Deeks was entitled to be there as well. So it's just another mistake there by Rudy. Right, Dutch Merc takes that penalty. So we go on by, and that is why I didn't want to send it on the kink, because we'd have lost more time, potential crash, all sorts of carnage, or a nice easy overtake on the start-finish straight. Seemed a better idea to me. Anyway, in towards the final lap, and turn one we go then. Now, let's see if we get by this Mercedes SLS up in the distance then, in towards the right. I do like the livery, especially the GT logo on the back. It's a nice looking livery, that. Oh, they go towards the right side, bit of wheel spin there, in towards the fast right we go. They actually back out of it there. They weren't sure where I was, so maybe they're using bonnet cam, I'm not too sure, but that's really good sportsmanship. In fact, this race has been pretty good for a daily race B. Much better than the one in the weekly race guide, that is for sure. But it's still very short, 7 minutes 26 there in terms of length. Before we get into the length though, let's have a look at the rolling start because this can be improved. So I jumped into a custom race essentially. I've gone to Laguna Seca here and I'm going to set up a custom race because in here we can actually do rolling starts. Look, there's a rolling start interval literally there. Now at the moment it's set to 20 meters. So I wanted to see exactly what distance we could have. What do you know? There's a bug in here. I can't even select any value other than it goes to 15 or the default of 20 meters. Now, I reported this bug. I don't even know how long ago. I might actually check in the chat how long ago I reported this bug, and I'll put it on the video afterwards. But that's insane that that bug still exists. So I'm going to re-report it as well because that really needs fixing. Anyway, the lowest distance we can have in terms of a rolling start in here is 15 meters, which you can see right here, and everybody starts on the straight. Everyone's really close. Now, you could argue that's a bit too close, and I can see that, okay? Very much see that. Everyone's really close. It's like a grid start, but rolling, and arguably there'd be a lot of carnage from that. So I'm not looking for a 15-meter start, okay? I do think it should be a little bit longer, but you shouldn't have to start before the corner, is my point, because literally that is the problem. So what we're going to do, we're going to reload the settings that I did save, and we'll try a 20-meter. Here they are reloaded then, and because I'd already saved it and it was already defaulted to 20 meters, I can try the 20 meters. I know that bug exists where I can't try anymore, which would be really nice to test, but I just can't because, yeah, bug. Never mind. Anyway, we're going to click start for this race then, and let's have a look at the actual distance then to the cars in front. So let's hit start now then. Here we go. Now that looks about, I'm going to say that looks very similar to the start of the race. It does indeed. So that would tell me the daily races are using that default value, and that's what Gran Turismo has set up. What this also tells me though is that they have specifically moved that rolling start further back for some reason and forced people to start on the corner. Now, if you had a qualifying session before the race, like literally before it, it would make sense that you could do that, and that's absolutely fine. You get a bad quality, you start at the back, you start behind the corner, fair enough. But you don't know where you're going to start in these races. You really don't. You could literally be the fastest in one lobby, get promoted to the next lobby, and be the slowest in the next lobby. So suddenly you have a very good race, and you go to a very bad race, and it's no fault of your own. It really is bad in that sense. And it's annoying as well. You know, you could literally be there, putting in the time, the effort, get a nice time for where you are with your driver rating. You get put in a different lobby, you're P16, you start way before the corner, you got no chance of winning the race, you got no chance really of catching up to anybody, and you're left in the dark. Pretty rubbish experience in my opinion. Right, anyway, let's jump into the next race then. Let's have a look at some of the other problems with Daily Race B. So here we are with the next race then, starting right at the back again. So we are going to experience that exact same problem. But, I mean, look where the leader starts. The leader starts before the start-finish line as well. Maybe there's a bug in the online servers and they have to do that. I don't know. It would be nice to get some clarification as to why we start before the corner. The wheel bug still exists, like you saw there. Some people ask, what is the wheel bug? Essentially, your rotation changes, or alternatively, your force feedback changes. So you have to press pause, unpause it, and then you should be right as rain again. In towards turn 1 we go then, behind Rabiso GT up ahead, and we're miles off the lead. Of course we are, because we start so far back. I do really wish this would change, and I'm going to keep mentioning that every time. It's just atrocious in terms of a rolling start. Spanish driver goes off there, so we go on by here, 8.7 seconds off the lead, and we are going to advance further on to lap number 2, where we eventually catch up to the pack. This is why I said in the weekly race guide, it's essentially a 4-lap race, because everyone needs a lap to catch up to everybody else. They really do. And again, if you had a qualifying session before the race, it would make sense, this. You could do that, but you've no idea where you're going to start. So essentially, like the Spanish driver behind me, started in a place he didn't want to start. Same for Novella here as we go side by side through this left-hander. Look at this for beautiful racing with a Finnish driver. Really well played there. Both leaving each other room. Good sportsman-like stuff as we head towards the left then. In we go. Left a little bit of room on the inside there. We've got somebody off towards the right. We'll have a look at that in a second. But this is what I mean, right? They didn't know they were going to start in P15 or P14. So effectively, their race is ruined before it's even started, which is pretty pants in my opinion. They don't even get a good race. Steve comes on from the corkscrew there. Literally one of the worst rejoins I've seen in a while there, Steve. Really need to work on that one. Stay towards the right-hand side. You were unghosted where I didn't really want you to unghost, and I ventured off there. Let's have a look at Anderson, though, here, because we saw them off in the gravel at the kinks. Didn't go off because of the kink. They're side by side with Smalden here as they head towards the left there. Contact between the two. It felt like the French driver was forcing Anderson off there. That wasn't the greatest thing in the world as we continue on here then. And we're going to head towards the kink here. We've got the police car going for their move on the inside. Looks like Anderson tried to block there. No idea what's going on there. That wasn't the greatest in the world there. And they unfortunately ended up off in the gravel there. So we're going to drop back into the racing action then. And we catch up to the police car then of Harty on lap number 3 as we go through this right-hander. And we're going to send it in this next one then, trying to get as close to that sausage as possible, staying in 4th gear. We get a brilliant run out the corner then. We're closing in on Harty very quickly, who goes defensive as we go in towards the left-hander. Once again, chase cam is called for here as we continue on through here then. We're still side by side. Harty gave me a million miles of space there. Really well played. But we're going to go side by side in the king. Now look at this for sportsmanship. I gave enough room. Harty gave me enough room. Absolutely fantastic. See my smile there. I love that kind of stuff. Phenomenal driving there from Harty. It was really awesome racing here. It really was indeed. As we advance to lap number 4 then, where we catch up to Wreck and Angel. I assume that's meant to say Wreck Angel maybe. I'm not too sure. As we continue on through here, we're right behind the green machine up ahead then. They're weaving a bit all over the place here, so I was getting a bit confused here then as I'm going to send it around the outside. Slight contact between the two. I wasn't too fond of that one, but even so, left me space on the exit, so I realized that was a mistake. And we continue on racing. Mistakes happen, you know. You see my raw live reaction, especially in the shorts. That is my live reaction at the time. I look at it afterwards, I edit it, and I go, okay, that was a mistake. That wasn't a mistake. So on and so forth. Now, the Rockstar machine up ahead was involved in that incident with Anderson earlier on here on the final lap, and we've literally merged to the same point once again. Seems to be getting all a run through here, so hopefully you guys who are watching this then are seeing where you're making the mistakes and the issues there. A bit of weaving there in towards the left-hander, but we are on the inside here as we continue on through there. Look at that, we're carrying the momentum as well due to the camber. Yeah, everyone making a mistake into the fast right. In towards the kink we go, though. And unfortunately, I'm still there. They just hit me just there. They should have stayed out a bit wider, and they would have made that corner. Unfortunately, they didn't, so we keep P9 then. And up ahead, the French driver went off as well at the kink here. Ken Pachi, 72. Let's see what we can do versus you as we head towards the end of the race. And that's my second point here. How short is this race now? It's crazy. There are 20 minutes between every race start there as the French driver goes off. We're going to go into this right-hander then side by side. I left them lots of space there. Tiny bit of contact. Nothing major. They see me smile because I sort of anticipated it. But yeah, the distance in these races. So Daily Race B, I know it's a sprint race, okay? I'm fully aware of that being a sprint race. But 5 laps, arguably 4 laps because we need a lap to catch up, is not enough in my opinion. This race could easily be another 2 laps. Even another lap would have been beneficial because then we're heading towards the 10-minute mark. It's a 20-minute slot, this race. So even if we got 2 more laps, that puts us on 10 minutes 30. There's still plenty of time then to go into practice for the next race. There really is. This race should at least be 7 laps in my opinion. At least 7 laps. And that needs to get sorted as well. You wait longer than you race. That is not acceptable in my opinion, and that is something that needs to change. So we've looked at 2 things there that needs to change with the daily races. I know there's plenty more. Somebody's going to go, oh, Tidge, what about the penalty system? Because they always do. in the comments. The penalty system, yes, it needs a complete rework. I'm very well aware of that, but I don't talk about it too often because it does need a full rework, and I imagine it needs a new game to be able to do that, if I'm brutally honest with you. But we have looked at the literal rolling start of death. Like, what is that rolling start? It's dreadful, and it can be changed. It seems custom to me of where they set the start of the rolling start there. If they change that, make sure every car started on a straight, I'd be happy days with it, you know? At least it's a race then. And then on top of that, the distance to the race, in my opinion, needs changing as well. That's going to be it for this video, though, folks. I do hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know your feedback and feelings about Daily Race B in the comments below. As always, a big thank you for watching. Check out GT Amiga and use my code Tidgney at checkout to get a discount, and it also gives me a little kickback as well as the Fanatec link if you are buying the GT DD Pro or any other wheel, in fact, from Fanatec. A kickback comes back to the channel, which does support future content. Thank you for watching as always, and I hope to see you in another video live stream again very soon, or click that weekly race guide.